I'm glad you got this fucking podcast because like I said,
we're just gonna push it off the ledge and see how far it goes down the hill. Start the snowball rolling and
some of the dopest shit.
See what happens.
For anyone who doesn't know my man, y'all in for a treat.
Yeah. Welcome to What in the Duck podcast. I'm your host, Oliver Peck. What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Dream Machines of Texas, www.dreammachinesoftexas.com. All your used motorcycle wants and needs all in one place at www.dreammachinesoftexas.com. They have multiple locations with large inventory and get new bikes in every week. Knowledgeable staff with great service and financing and extended warranty options available. They also have a complete service garage, so every bike is gone through and brought up to speed before you hit the road. I have bought more than a few bikes from Dream Machines over the years, and I could not be more satisfied. I've also had friends from all over the country buy bikes from Dream Machines because they couldn't find a better deal anywhere. You can buy a bike and have it shipped to you anywhere in the U.S. Why buy a brand new bike with that brand new high price when you can get a like-new bike with that dream deal you've been looking for? Go to www.dreammachinesoftexas.com and get a bike and get your ass on the road. All right, everybody. Welcome to What in the Duck podcast. Yes, here we are. Mio Tia's Mexican restaurant. The home of What in the Duck. I'm your host, Oliver Peck, and today we got a very interesting life transformation story. Good friend of mine, Marlon, is on the show today. Gonna have a good talk with him, tell you all about what he's got going on. And, just to get it started, thank you so much to everybody that emailed questions in. And each episode, I'm going to answer a few questions and answer a few emails and maybe tell a couple stories and try to get into it. So here we go. Right off the bat, we got a question from Eric Smyer. What's up, Eric Smyer? And just to note, everybody that I answer your email on the show, we're going to send you a little, what do you want to call it? A little package of goodies from What in the Duck. All right. So Eric Smyer, we'll be looking up you for your information so we can send you something out. It says, my name is Eric Smyer, and I've been following your career for a good chunk of time and have always had the question on my mind to ask you, when you first started tattooing, did you ever think that the door you opened would lead to everything you've accomplished in life, like the TV show, owning shops, blah, 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 says a bunch of very flattering, complimentary stuff towards myself, which I don't really want to just read it out loud, but thank you so much, Eric, for your compliments. I really appreciate it, man. And, I'll tell you what, this kind of strikes a note on what's going on with, a lot of people today trying to accomplish things. And, the old saying, you got to be careful what you wish for, comes to mind. And I will say there's a couple different types of people that get famous. Whether you want to think that I'm famous or not, I don't really consider myself in that way. I don't think about things in that light. I just kind of do what it is that makes me happy and do what I do and try to make the people around me happy. And some people strive for fame and they work towards fame and they have an idea they want to be an actor or they want to be a musician or they want to be this or they want to be on TV or they want to, whatever. And some people achieve that and some people, make that their life's work. And then there's other people that just do what they do and people that get good at something and then start getting recognized for it and then maybe get on a TV show because they build cars or race motorcycles or do tattoos or whatever the case may be. And I think just the few people that get spotlighted for what they do doesn't take anything away from the people that don't get spotlighted. If you're doing what you do because you love it and you're doing what you do because it makes you happy, then that's the goal. My goal was never to be on TV. My goal was never to, I wasn't looking for fame. I'm more looking for happiness. And I found that you find, a lot of times you find what you're looking for. And if you're looking for fame, you might find fame, but you might not find happiness in the end. And, I love tattooing, and I started tattooing because I wanted tattoos, basically is the whole thing. I didn't think that I was going to, in the beginning, I didn't think that I was going to, own tattoo shops and do all these things. I just wanted tattoos. So me and my friends started tattooing ourselves and tattooing each other. And it just kind of snowballs, you kind of do what you want to do, and you start that gear into motion, and it starts turning the other cogs of the wheel, and everything kind of just, your life just unfolds over time. And, I've had some pretty fortunate, moments in my life where I've got a lot of great opportunities, and, I just take whatever comes and make the best of it. And, I got the opportunity to open a tattoo shop with some friends early in my career. And, we did it because we love tattooing, and it worked out great. I got an opportunity to be on a TV show about tattooing, and I did it because I love tattooing, and it worked out great, and had a good time. And it was, we had a good run, and it was awesome. And, so on and so forth. So I don't know if I answered the question or not, but, I feel like I beat around the bush enough to kind of give you a gist of, what you should be, in my advice, what people should strive for, and if you're wishing for something that's not happiness, then don't be surprised when you end up unhappy. I guess that's the opposite way of saying it. But anyway, I think, I think that's it for that one. I think that's pretty good. I mean, I feel like, don't put too much emphasis on the end result. Life is a journey. And, if you do too much preparation and plan out every dot along the road, you're never going to have the opportunity to just, to see where life leads you. So, like I said, start that snowball down the hill and just, and be open to willing to see where it takes you. Yeah, man. All right. I picked this question because it has something to do with today's topic. One thing about this podcast is it's kind of just a free form, whatever may come up, what the fuck, whatever may happen. Today, my guest is Marlon from Community Vegan. We call him Plant-Based G. He's got a vegan food truck down in Austin, makes amazing food. He's a great guy. He's got a great life story. But anyway, CK Britton, happens to be someone that I know in the real world, not just on the email. I didn't know that until I finished reading the message. But hello, being vegan for so long, which I've been vegan for a handful of years, not my whole life or anything. But being vegan for so long, what are the biggest changes you have noticed in your day-to-day life? Additionally, are there any non-vegan items that you missed? Well, buddy, I'll tell you. I kind of dabbled in veganism for quite some time, many, many years, before I went 100%. And for many years, I was just eating what was good, and I was trying to be more healthy. So I was curtailing my diet, and I was eating, my girlfriend cooked vegan food, and I eat vegan food. When my girlfriend's not there, I would eat whatever. And over time, I slowly started getting more and more healthy, but I ended up having, an issue that made me change my mind and just go 100% vegan. And, many years of eating a lot of vegan food, I did enjoy the food. I did feel good, but it didn't make a large impact on the way I felt. And, once I went 100%, within a few months, I really started to notice. And you asked me what life changes I noticed. I noticed that every meal made me feel good. I noticed that I was never tired after eating anymore. I realized that I always had energy. I realized that I slept better. I realized that it was easier to keep the weight off. I realized that it was easier to get up in the morning. I realized that whatever you give your body, we talk about this in the episode too. I realized whatever you give your body is what your body craves. And when you go without something for so long, you just adjust and your body changes and your body chemistry changes. And if you give yourself nothing but candy every day, you're going to want candy every day. If you don't eat candy for a while, then it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. And it's the same thing with meat, the same thing with, whatever the case may be. You eat a bunch of broccoli and then next thing you know, you crave broccoli. You eat a bunch of bread, you crave bread. So I try to, kind of watch what I eat, not just vegan, but I kind of watch what I eat otherwise, just because I'm really enjoying the benefits of feeling better and the benefits of feeling healthier. And it's, it's a little bit of just a mental block of letting go of what you think you might need. And then, just accepting things as they come. So making the transformation to 100% vegan has been amazing for me. I feel better than I did years and years ago. Everything, my joints, my muscles, it's just crazy. I was used to the idea of eating a big meal and then feeling sluggish, or eating, the stereotypical take a nap after Thanksgiving dinner because you eat so much that you're just lethargic. I don't have that anymore. I eat a bunch of food. My gas tank is filled up. I got fuel and I feel great. And I think it's been a very positive change in my life. And I don't think everybody needs to go 100% vegan unless it's, I'm not trying to force people to do things they want to do. I think some people have a problem with certain things and it's better if they don't do it. I have a problem with cholesterol and it's better if I don't eat it. Same thing with alcohol. I don't drink alcohol because I had a problem with alcohol. Some people can drink a little bit and be fine. Some people can't hold it together and they run off the cliff. But as far as we talk about also with Marlon, just once you realize that you don't need something, how senseless it is to keep doing it, especially when it's something, that's, is as abrasive to the planet and to the lives of so many. Just being more compassionate, like Marlon says, is, turns out to be really cool. All right. Ian Hill says, I have a ton of questions that have been on my mind, but I'll just ask the one, why red Vans? I only ask because after watching Ink Master and seeing yours, I'm wearing mine a lot as well. My dad recently passed away, and every time he'd see me wear them, he always laugh and tell me about an old Foghat album that had red shoes on it and tell me that it was his favorite. Just wondering if you have any reason for the preference or if it's just your favorite. Well, Ian, I'll tell you, we talk about this in episode 2, which is why I picked this deal. I'm not going to spoil it for you. You can watch the episode and we'll talk a little bit about it, but not just Vans, but red shoes in general. I've been wearing nothing but Vans for a long time. And Marlon brought up the same story. And I kind of delve into that a little bit during our interview. And a lot of people do notice, that I'm always wearing red shoes on the show. And it's not just on the show. It's my everyday life, nothing but red shoes for, 30 plus years. So anyway, keep the questions coming. Ian, CK, and Eric will be sending you out some cool shit. And thank you for chiming in. And what in the duck? Next up, we got Marlon, Plant-Based G. What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Anchor Screen Printing. Anchor Screen Printing has been printing t-shirts and merch products since 1999. Anchor is the place for quality, small-run items. At Anchor, every print is hand-done by people who care about art. No mass-produced, machine-operated printing done here. You can email Anchor at anchorcustoms@gmail.com to talk about getting something printed for your company, brand, or shop. Anchor Screen Printing also has its own online merch store that sells Elm Street Tattoo, Cheap Thrills, Heart in Hand,
Party First Safety Maybe merch, and much more. You can check it all out now at anchorscreenprinting.com. All orders at anchorscreenprinting.com over $20 have quick and free shipping in the continental U.S. So go to anchorscreenprinting.com today to buy some cool shit, or you can click the link provided in this podcast to shop now.
What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Legacy Ink, the finest in tattoo pigments. I have been using this ink exclusively for over 20 years myself. It has been recently rebranded and marketed, but it has been the same recipe for decades. Real, hand-mixed tattoo pigments that heal great and last. People always comment on the yellow that I use and the yellow tattooed on me. My favorite, the Mayan yellow. I have seen countless 20-plus-year-old tattoos with the colors still vivid. Don't fuck around with all these newfangled companies with their watered-down baloney. Get the tried, true, and tested good shit. You can find them on Instagram at Legacy Pigments, or email Ashley today to place an order at legacyartsupplies@gmail.com. Tell them Oliver sent you and receive a special discount. Don't just do tattoos. Be a part of a legacy.
All right, well, Marlon, my man.
What up, big dog?
Welcome to What in the Duck.
Yo,
And
love the name.
we are here at Mio Tia's Mexican restaurant.
Dope, too.
If you got time to hang out after the recording, maybe we can, hang out for Taco Tuesday here at the restaurant.
I like that. I want to get some nachos too, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, just to jump right into it, man. My man Marlon here, Plant-Based G.
Yes, sir.
On the Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Any other platforms you got?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram. It's plantbasedg.life. Also, I do a little something on Twitter, Plant-Based G. But yeah, man, Plant-Based G, man. I'm here with the legend. Legend.
The new thing, man. The new thing. We're gonna start off with the newest. Is Community Vegan.
No doubt.
The food truck down in Austin.
Yes, sir.
And I have been there.
Yeah, what you think, man?
And I ate.
Yeah,
and it was good, man. So just to let people know, Marlon here, he is a vegan chef, vegan designer, vegan conceptualist, vegan entrepreneur, fitness mogul, life transformation expertise. I mean, you really have gone through an amazing transformation in life.
Yeah.
I feel like I've myself have gone through a few transformations, but nothing is overcoming and drastic is what you've been able to accomplish. And you're an inspiration to a lot of people. And it's what draws me to wanting you to have you on this show, man.
I appreciate that, man. It's the transformation I went through physically is obviously what most people see, but mentally too, man. Like I talked about with you, man. Mentally, that was the biggest thing for me was that mental transformation. Obviously, I lost 130 pounds. I lost, I guess, one of you, something like that. Yeah. I lost probably about freaking 20 inches in my waist. All of that was good. Got healthier, but mentally. The clarity that I thought with just being a different kind of fella, man. You know what I mean? Once I made that transformation was really one thing I'm most proud of. Just being a, more compassionate cat. I'm still, cool as a MFer, but, being a more compassionate, more thoughtful individual, I'm proud of that. You know what I mean? Especially as I get older, but the vibes, man. You know what I mean? Just being more positive with the outlook. That's what we're supposed to do, man. You know what I mean?
Well, I will say there's no transformation without a mental.
No doubt.
You can't just change a physical. You can't just change a look. You got to change an idea.
Right.
And a lot of people are seeking a more positive, more happiness in their life, and they concentrate on the physical.
Yeah.
And what you don't realize is you change the mental, and everything else falls into place.
Yo, it's amazing how once you have that clarity and you've had an incredible amount of success with what you've done, what you've gone through and overcome. Once you have that clarity, the level up that you get in terms of what you're able to keep doing is freaking crazy because you can see things different. You've got rid of a lot of the riffraff too. You know what I mean? I think in addition to detoxifying your body, you kind of detoxify your life with some. Well, first, hold on, let me ask you this: can I cuss on here?
Hell yeah! And the name of the show is "What in a Duck." It's really "What in the fuck," but we're trying to be.
I was trying to clean the shit up, but nah, fuck that shit, man. Yeah, let me get right to it. But nah, man, once you get rid of the bullshit, though, man. You know what I mean? That provides you with more clarity. Your vision is better, and you can do more shit, man. You know, at the end of the day, you know, that was one of the things for me. Whenever I went through the transformation, I lost a lot of the weight. I got rid of a lot of the health issues, man. I had high blood pressure. I had acid reflux. I was fucking 360, 370 pounds, man. I was a big Suge Knight looking motherfucker, but I was still too fucking big, for that fucking, at that point in my life. And I'll tell you what happened for me, I was getting older and I knew I was going to have grandkids too. I've got kids, so I knew I was going to have grandkids. So I said, I want to be active. You know what I'm saying? I want to be active. I want to be able to do things with them. So, I'm at a point where I need to make some changes. And so I ran across the documentary, What the Health? And literally I changed my shit, cleaned out my refrigerator, got rid of all the shit that I typically ate. And, and I made that change. And like I said, going through the physical took me through a mental side that I wasn't prepared for, man. It kind of tripped me out. And I'll tell you what was wild for me. I started going out to LA a lot, just eating different food and shit. That's what really got me off in the food game, was kind of putting people on to some good food to eat. And so anyways, I get out to LA and some friends of mine were like, yo, we're going to take you by this slaughterhouse. You know what I mean? They got this pig vigil. And so I was like, oh shit. And I was with my oldest boy, Colin, my man. And anyway, so we go do that. Yeah, no doubt. He said, tell you what's up. So anyway, so we fall through and it was weird just kind of going through the process of the ag industry on a massive level. I've been around, pig farms and all that, grew up in the country, so I know what that can be like. But the ag industry, seeing it on that level was kind of wild, man. You know what I mean? And it kind of, it made me say, it might be a little bit bigger than just my health. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what it is I'm trying to do. And more importantly, man, I think it's important to turn people on to a lifestyle that can be more compassionate, that can be healthier, but you're still eating some good shit. You're still a dope motherfucker too. You know what I mean? It doesn't change shit about who you are. I tell people I'm still the cool motherfucker you knew before. I just roll a little bit different. You know what I mean? That's the only difference in who I am and who I was and who I am now, along with being more compassionate. You know what I mean? For me, being a more compassionate individual, not only as far as animals are concerned, but just to the average person. I thought I was pretty cool before, but I'm much more cognizant about how people feel about shit and making sure I'm doing the right thing, making sure that I'm bringing something positive. I want to make sure that I give, versus, taking away from the energy in the room. So I try to always bring positive vibes, good energy, but that's what attracts me to the right type of people. I know that's what makes me and you fuck around is, it's that same mentality, you know what I mean, in terms of what we're trying to bring. And obviously, like-minded people are going to link up, you know what I mean? And that's what kind of got us going. But anyways, long story short, I guess that goes back to can we cuss? And then I kind of went off on my thing. So fuck it, now we're here, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, I will say, man, the positive mental attitude, the PMA, we call it, is something that you put out and you get back.
Right.
I try to put out positive stuff to everybody. I'm a friendly guy.
Yeah.
I'm friendly to everybody. I'm just waiting to be friends with the next person I meet. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that me and you kind of just clicked right off the bat.
Right.
It's that positive vibe, that positive mental attitude, that just the willingness to choose happiness.
Yeah.
And people always want to wonder, why they don't have what other people have, or why they get to a place where somebody else is. And I'm like, you got to choose that.
Absolutely.
Stuff doesn't happen to you. Stuff happens and you're there. Nothing's happening to you. You can let it happen to you, or you can choose to let it happen somewhere else.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be where the negativity's happening. And a lot of people are in a situation where it's, the escape is real.
Yeah.
They're in an actual dramatic situation where they don't have a way out, and they need help to get out, you know, and people like you give that positive vibe. You can help somebody out of a situation and you're there willing to listen.
I appreciate that because that's the same thing. That's the same thing you bring. And I'll tell you one of the approaches that I've always had whenever I talk to people about my mentality as far as how I look at things is if I can impact at least one person per day, I know I'm doing the right thing, man. And it may be something as simple as speaking to someone who's homeless and making sure they know that, you know, you're a real person, so I'm acknowledge your presence. You know what I mean? I may not even have anything to offer at the moment, but for me, it's impacting at least one person. It could be your significant other. It could be a family member. It could be a fellow coworker. But that one person, that shit's important, man. You know what I mean? And it's and going into the food part too, right quick. You know, one thing that got me really intrigued about, and I guess we can kind of I mean, it's your show. I kind of started going off on a tangent. I was gonna say,
no. My show is a platform for you to come on. This show ain't about me. Word. This show is about whoever's sitting next to me.
All love. I appreciate that. I'm gonna kind of go into how I went from my typical 9 to 5, you know, in the Matrix to doing the food thing, but the gist of it is the opportunity to serve is one of the biggest gifts I can get. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I get from, you know, this food thing. Whenever I may be tired, whenever I'm going through, you know, the ups and downs of just trying to get to where you're trying to go, it's the opportunity to serve is the biggest gift that I can get. You know, the opportunity to give something to someone that actually means something to them, to give them a good experience, to give them something that may be better for them, to turn them on to something new, but to give someone a positive experience, that's some dope shit. You know what I mean? And so that kind of transitioning I used to work in radio for about 18, 19 years, did that here in Dallas for
You got that radio voice.
Yeah, a little bit, man. Yeah, a little bit. Yo, what's happening, ladies? Hey, you know, we got the Quad Storm going on tonight. We got a little bit of Luther Vandross. I want you to go ahead and turn the lights down, light that candle. Yeah, then I want you to slip on that lingerie. All right. Fucking around a little bit. Yeah. But now I worked in radio, man, for about 18 years, and that was good for me. Worked in hip hop as a kid, and going back to, you got to know what you want and make sure you're in the right position. Let me tell you how wild life is, bro. So whenever I was growing up, man, I always wanted to be a DJ, man. I grew up in Victoria, Texas, down in South Texas, man, and so I used to listen to Magic 102 in Houston growing up as a kid, hip hop station or R&B station. So I was like, and I used to be into heavy hip hop and all that shit since I was a youngster, right? My dad was heavy into music too. So I was like, man, I'd love to work in radio. And that was kind of a dream for me. I ended up getting my degree in communications. And how wild it is, and you talk about the mentality, but as a kid, I could taste it, bro. I could taste that shit. And sure enough, man, fucking one day I was a little bit over 30, man. And I was working this one gig, and sure enough, I saw an opportunity with KRNB and K104. Fucking got the job, man, and it was wild mentally because I was like, as a kid, I wanted to do this fucking shit. I wanted to be in the mix. Went from that to fucking working in radio. You know, most of my clients are like concert tours, like AEG, Live Nation, all that shit. I mean, fucking just being in the fucking mix, man. But I remember tasting that shit. And I remember that to this day because that tells me, yo, if you believe that shit enough to where you can fucking taste it and you'll put yourself in the right position at the right time, the shit's gonna fucking pop off, you're fucking right. It's a choice too, man. You know what I mean? But I remember things I went through to get there. It wasn't just this smooth transition. You know, I'm going through, you know, bullshit, you know, got fucking arrested, you know, for having a little bit of weed, like a joint or some shit. And they treated it as if I had like a pound of crack or some shit in a small town, man. Some fuck shit, man. But anyway, you know, you're going through bullshit like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You living life and you're going through it. I went through all these, you know, turns and whatnot to where there were people who I'm sure were like, man, I wonder, you know, is he going to be all right? My mother was a high school principal too. So, you know, people looking at her like her fucking kids are supposed to be fucking good kid. I was a good kid, but I didn't mind wilding out a little bit too. You know,
scared to have the principal at your house,
dude. Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing, but here's the thing though. On some real shit, she was cool as hell. She wasn't like your typical print, like on some. I mean, and people would tell me, "Oh, your mom's gonna trip," because they knew it was a principal. I was like, she gonna trip, but she loves me though, man. So what the fuck you talking about? She ain't gonna trip too hard, and she gotta love me. She's my fucking mom, so shut the fuck up. Anyways, so I went through some, different paths to get there, but I still look back and say, that's what the fuck I wanted to do. And sure enough, I'm doing the shit. But it goes into the whole mentality part. But anyways, I was talking about, I worked at radio for a minute, and then finally, man, when 2020 hit, that just changed up a bunch of shit with COVID. All that shit shutting down everything, man. I wasn't making any money in radio because most of my clients are concerts and shit. There's no shows. So that means there's no money. So literally, man, I had to...
Dead stop.
Dude, it was fucking crazy. First, hard stop, man. So I was like, all right, shit, what the fuck am I gonna do? So wrote a digital cookbook immediately when the shit shut down called the Quarantine 15. So I put 15 recipes together at the beginning of quarantine, made a little bread with that. That was cool. They had different shit that started popping up, man, that, just food shit that kept growing. I started doing like corporate trainings, different things like that were dope. And so then finally, a couple people, started talking to me about some different shit with food. I was like, eh. And so then my partner, Erica Dotson, she hit me over the head and she was like, yo, you need to go ahead and jump off in the game and do this, we can pull some stuff together, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, shit, we got the Winnebago.
Happened pretty quick.
Yeah, man. It feels like it took a lifetime, man. I mean,
for you in it every day, it probably seems like
man. It was some traumatic moments, man. Like there's some ghost in that shit, man, that, pop up on your ass. You'd be like, what the fuck, man? I thought we fixed this and shit. But it's a 1973 Winnebago Chieftain, the same one that's in The Walking Dead, literally the same model when we got it. Man, I'll tell you how wild this shit is. So we got it out westwards. Let me just be vague. All right, so we got it westwards, man. And so I got it from some good cats. One cat had done quite a bit of time too, man. And but cool dude, man.
It was a kitchen before, but not the same kind of kitchen.
So we ended up, we getting ready to tow it. And I was like, I better check the glove compartment. So I tell her, I say, I'm about to check the glove compartment. So I check the glove compartment. Fucking meth pipe comes rolling out. I was like, there used to be a cook in this. You know what I mean? Like for real. So that gives you an idea of what kind of work we had to put in. And like it was some Breaking Bad shit. So we had to do everything from some cleaning to some spiritual cleansing and burn some incense. I was burning incense in that shit, man. Like I was like, I don't know what's happened up in this thing. I got to get some positive energy up in here. So I was doing that shit. But anyways, did all that. It came with a full kitchen, got it painted, and you can see it now. It's fucking, it's doing this thing, man. You know what I mean? So it's been good, man.
How long you been open?
I've been open since September, man. So we started working on it back in December, January.
So almost 5 months.
Yeah, almost 5 months, man. It's been... Hey, man, it's like going back to school, man. I went from corporate America to the kitchen. But I figured there's some people who, I ain't saying are the brightest that are cooking and doing some things, because I've met a couple of them. I was like, I can do it then. I just got to figure it out, man. But yeah, it's been a learning lesson. It's been good, man. Shit, got shown a lot of love, man. It's been good,
well, you came up with some good food, man, and you came up with a good niche that wasn't already there.
Yeah, appreciate
in Austin,
that.
And I mean, I've already told the story to a bunch of people, but we drove down just to eat there, and kind of your specialty is a bunch of mushroom stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not a mushroom guy,
I know,
man.
You told me.
I'm not a mushroom guy.
Mushrooms, man.
And I don't. I mean, I'm not so adverse to them that I can't eat anything that they've been on, but I can pick a mushroom out of it and eat it anyway. But man, I ate some mushrooms. I ate a lot. I ate a lot of mushrooms.
Fucking dope. I was like, okay, my man don't really fool with them. I was like, I gotta make them nice, man. That made me feel good, brother, because I know how you are with the shrooms.
But man, the food was great. Everything about, all the sides are great. Everything's good. I mean, I was pretty blown away.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? I was
man.
pretty blown away. I get blown away by a lot of the vegan food that's coming out. And I tell people, man, like my girlfriend, she's been vegan for like 18 years.
She's dope with
and
the
I
food.
couldn't have done it back then.
Yeah, man. Me either.
I do it now. It's easy now.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, it's hard. I'm like, man, it ain't hard.
It's easy for us, dude. We got options,
They got vegan food at 7-Eleven now. You know what I mean? You can.
Hell yeah.
So
we got options, man.
But, and the biggest thing for me, I can say real quick, is about my transformation of becoming vegan. It's been like all these things that are like comfort foods that are familiar foods are good as a treat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to help people learn that food doesn't have to be what you think it is.
It's a good bridge, man.
But, in the end, you still want to be healthy, man.
No
you
doubt.
still want to eat. And the compassion's a big part of it. But people just need to, like, I don't know, man. What you said something earlier that kind of clicked on me. And there's this commercial about a guy, he eats a chili dog. Big old nasty fucking shitty weenie with fucking whatever kind of chili shit all over it. And
shit looks scary.
And then he's like, oh no.
Yeah,
and you're like, you need this medicine.
Some
so you don't
acid fuck shit.
So and then the guy takes the medicine, and then the end of the commercial is him happy as clam eating that chili dog again. I'm like, the answer is don't eat shitty food.
Yeah, man, simple.
And that's the difference is when you eat a vegan version of a chili dog or a vegan version of a buffalo wing or a vegan version of whatever, you don't feel the shitty afterwards because the what's making you feel shitty is the low quality, garbage grade food that people are serving.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I mean, I tell people, because they asked me how good I feel, and I was like, well, because I'm consuming life. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to eat plants for the most part, so I'm consuming life. But I was like, yo, when you say you feel like shit after you eat that steak, because, my man, you consuming some death with your joint. You know what I mean? So, there's a reason why we feel a certain way. And here's the thing, too, just so I can be clear with people. I mean, I got this perspective on doing the vegan thing, but I got love for everybody. It's just whenever people start to ask me questions, I'm just going to break them off on some info. We got guard dogs in the building, so don't you can't pull up on us with the nonsense. But yeah, I got love for everybody. But when I start talking about health-wise, when people say, hey man, my doctor said if I don't change, this shit's gonna be over. I'm like, okay, well then let's talk about what you eat, why you eat, and then why you feel the way you feel. And then that's one thing that's big for me is if you wanna live life to the fullest, you need to consume more life. And whether that's going vegan or whether that's just eating one vegan meal a week, as long as you incorporate a little something extra, that's gonna be good for you. If you want more life, consume more life. If you want to get closer to death, just consume more death, and it's gonna happen soon enough, brother.
I just tell people, if you know it's garbage, don't eat it.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of good stuff out there.
Absolutely.
And plain and simple for me, I'm not a preachy guy when it comes to it. And, I just want to live by example more than live by trying to push and push and push.
True.
Because I'm friends with everybody that I don't drink, but I have friends that drink. I don't smoke weed. I got friends that smoke weed. I don't eat meat. I got friends that eat meat. Whatever, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to divide my life by my personal choices because that's not the way to live.
Absolutely. But I agree completely.
For me personally, man, I had a heart attack. And
how long ago was that?
6 years ago.
No shit.
Had a heart attack.
Where were you at?
I was in New York when it happened.
No shit, like in a hotel or something? Or?
Nah, I was actually on set.
No shit.
Yeah, on
the
set.
Fucking Ink Master?
On set of the show.
Fucking shit.
No and my chest started hurting, and then it didn't stop. But quick story, man. My father died of a heart attack.
Okay.
My grandfather died of a heart attack. My uncle, my cousins, everybody in my family. We've got familial cholesterol process degenerative disorder, whatever you want to, I can't remember what, but cholesterol don't mix.
Right.
And, my dad had his first heart attack at 40. died in his third heart attack at 63.
Damn.
You know, and I had my first heart attack like 44.
Okay.
And I woke up in the hospital after getting 2 stents put in. And of course, when you wake up, they come in and they give you a little thing. Hey, you know, you're going to have to do things different. You're going to have to make some changes.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm never eating cholesterol again.
Right.
And the doctor was like, well, that's the optimum choice. But most people can't make that change.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, and Audra standing there with me. And I was like, I'm telling you right now, I'm never eating cholesterol again.
Yeah.
Because I know the reason I had a heart attack is because I eat cholesterol.
Absolutely. The cholesterol is killing you, man.
And not everybody's going to have a heart attack at 40.
Right.
But I have a condition.
Yeah.
And cholesterol don't mix. And I haven't eaten a bite of cholesterol since.
Yeah,
and it's simple as that.
Yeah, you had to make that. And see, we're similar in that too. Like, bro, when I was watching the documentary, on site, I said, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like, it was no turning back. It was like let me work my way into it. You know, I'm one of those types too, you know, similarly where, man, once I make my mind up and once I got the information, there's no turning back.
Yeah.
Especially when I know, because then I start saying, so you're not wise enough to make some better choice. You know what I mean? I take that shit personal.
Everybody has to touch the stove.
Yeah.
You know, you tell them the stove is hot and they're like, they touch it anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to touch the stove. I touch the stove. I don't touch the stove again.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? I was in jail for drugs.
Yeah.
And I was looking at long term. And I said, if I ever get out of jail, I ain't fuck with drugs no more.
Yeah.
I got out of jail in 1991 and I ain't fuck with drugs since.
Yeah.
You know, as simple as that. Like, you know, why did I go to jail?
Yeah, man.
Drugs. Do I want to go back to jail? No. Am I going to fuck with drugs anymore? No. The idea that people get out of jail for something and then do it again, you want to go to jail.
Yeah, man.
Like, so, I mean, it's simple. It's simple.
Yeah. And I'm I got the same way when it came to my health, man, when I was like, okay, I'm going to the doctor more. There are nights when I'm uncomfortable, man, in what I'm doing. Like, yeah, it was to the point where I was like, I wasn't at your stage yet, but I knew that shit was coming, man. You know what I mean? I was like, you too fucking big, dude. I was, 3'7". Anyways, it was crazy. So it got to the point where I was like, yeah, you got to make a drastic change and you got to make it fast. So let me ask, so when you had that heart attack on set, I mean, was it like your life was passing in front of you? Like, what was the mental side? I'm curious as to what was the mental side for you, because you're such an easygoing cat.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a red fox, like, oh no! You know what I mean? I didn't just like fall over. I woke up, we were getting ready, my chest was hurting, and I thought I'd like pull something.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I think I'll pull something.
Right.
And then, 15 minutes went by and it hurt more. 15 minutes went by, it hurt more. And it got worse real quick. And then all of a sudden I was like, I told Audra, I was like, hey, something ain't right.
Fuck, man.
I'm freaking out. And she looks at me and I was kind of pale. And I'm like, it feels like somebody had my sternum and was just prying it open. And I was like, man. And then from that point on, every breath, I could feel it. And I'm like, so then it's 911 emergency.
Right.
EMTs come running in and they like check me out and they think I'm having an anxiety attack. And they're like, and I'm like, no, man, I'm in pain. And then the guy looks at me and he's like, I believe that you think you're in pain. We think it's anxiety attack, or we think you're having withdrawals from some drugs or some shit. And I was just like, and I start to get fucking pissed. And Audra like jumps in and she's like, he doesn't do drugs. He doesn't have anxiety, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then I start screaming. I'm like, I ain't got nothing to be anxious about, and I'm freaking out. But I don't deal good with pain, man. So I'm freaking out. So then they're just like, they're doing nothing.
Yeah.
And so then we have a medic that's on site of the show, because you have to have a medic.
You got to.
You got security guards, you got a medic, you got this.
Everything
covered. And the medic's wife works in the heart department at the closest hospital.
Okay, gotcha.
He calls her and she says, come to the hospital right now. And so we go downstairs, jump in the car, and drive the PA guy drives us there. And it's 10 minutes. And I am barely made. I'm like, I'm in the car and I'm like freezing cold. And I'm like, God. And the next thing I'm burning up. And then I'm freezing cold and I'm freaking out. My head's about to explode. My chest killing. And I'm just like, and we're going down the road. And I'm like, and I like climb into the front seat and my hands are on the dashboard. And I'm like, fucking drive, you know? And he's like, and then I like start freaking out and I climb into the back seat of the Suburban and I lay down and I'm like, and then I like jump up, I climb back in the front seat. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Go. And we're coming up on a red light and I look at him and I'm like, don't even fucking think about stopping at that red light. And he's like, what? I'm like, fucking go. And I'm having these bouts of
I was about to say, man, it was some wild shit.
I feel like I'm about to like, it's over.
Okay, I got you.
And I'm just, but it wasn't, but I didn't have like that fall over dead heart attack.
I got you.
I was it was pain.
Right.
And I like, first of all, you don't know what's going on.
Right.
And so we like get to the hospital in record time. We pull up to the front, little drive through the emergency, and my buddy's wife and the doctor and the nurses are on the curb with the gurney.
Shit.
We pull up, jump on that gurney. They roll me in, and I'm not in the hospital 2 minutes. And they're like, you know, they rip my shirt off and they put those stickers all over you. And I never had an EKG before.
Right.
And I don't know what's going on. And they put these stickers on, and they touch one button, and then they yank the stickers off.
Yeah.
And they're like, and because the thing happens quick.
Yeah,
like,
they got to move fast.
Not even 30 seconds. They run it. And the doctor's like, you're having a heart attack.
Oh.
They knew. Like, that's what was going on.
Yeah.
And as soon as they said that, in my mind,
said it calm like
in my mind, I just went, okay. And I lay back.
Okay.
And I just spray and I just breathe. And they're like, can you give me something for the pain? And they're like, it's coming up. And they put an IV in my arm.
Mm.
And in my mind, I'm having a heart. Now, I didn't know what was happening before.
Right.
I was going to die any second.
Right.
But now, I'm having a heart attack. I'm in the hospital. The doctor's here. We're all good.
Yeah.
This is where I made it.
I can do. Yeah.
Here it is. And so Audra was trying to calm me down in the car ride and all the shit, like trying to get me safe and whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like being that calm person. And I'm like, wah!
Yeah.
Doctor says you're having a heart attack. And I'm just like, oh. Soon as he says that, Audra's like, what the fuck? She starts freaking out because now she's scared and whatever. And we just roll reversal. And they're like, we're going into surgery. They pump some, whatever, morphine in my arm. Pain went away. Rolled me into surgery. Popped 2 stents in there. And in my life, 20 minutes later, which not, who knows how long it was.
Man.
But
yeah.
In my mind, I like roll in there, and next thing you know, I'm in a hospital room feeling good, know.
That's what's up.
They're like, yeah, went successfully, blah, 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 blah. But that's the quick story, man. I just made it.
Man. Yeah. And after that, it was...
My grandfather, I remember being a kid, and my grandfather having his second heart attack. And me and my mom, my single mother, lived half a block down from my grandparents all my adolescent life.
Okay.
I was at my grandparents every single day. I came home from school, went to grandparents. My mom was at work, blah, blah, blah. I remember my grandfather, like, doctor telling him, you got to quit eating red meat. You got to quit eating fried foods.
Okay.
But mostly the meat.
Yeah.
Cholesterol, anything with cholesterol.
It's killing you, yeah.
And my grandmother tried to make some healthy meals.
He wouldn't do it.
Grandfather, we're at the dinner table, and I remember my grandfather just pushing a plate and being like, if I can't have chicken fried steak, I don't want to live. And I remember that. And I had that same mentality growing up, my life. And so...
Ain't that kind of wild when you look back at it?
But when I had the heart attack, my mind was remembering my grandfather saying that. And in my mind, I'm like, I already had chicken fried steak.
Yeah.
I'd rather ride motorcycles.
Yeah, man.
Travel the world, do tattoos, hang out, have fun, do things.
Right.
Like, I don't want to just eat meat
Yeah, man.
and die.
Life is bigger than that, man.
And I just, and
Interesting, man.
I just,
yeah.
it wasn't worth it to me.
Yeah, no, that's interesting and it's impactful. And the fact that it worked on you is it's what's even more amazing. Because a lot of people have that information, man. And I mean, I can't tell you the number of cats who've had a heart attack or a heart issue that'll hit me up and say, yo, can you give me some advice? My doctor said I don't have much longer if I don't change. So I'll talk to them, give them some insight. Because again, it's not so much about what I'm saying as much as you can look at my history, bro. Just like you can look at my history and you can tell from here to here, I did that shit for me, bro. Because this was the best thing I ever did for me, man. This was absolutely the best thing I ever did for me because I can't guarantee you I'd be here in the state that I am now if I was still living the way I was before. You know what I mean? I can't tell you that I would do so. So I try to give people advice because I'm like, yo, I love you and I want you here too, my man. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, unfortunately, sometimes it's that stubbornness, it's that ridiculous tradition, you know, especially when we start talking about that mentality, especially when we're talking about down south. I think we have even more of a machismo mentality, man, that we associate with certain things and it doesn't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we associate certain things with certain things as men when it's like, nah, bro. You know what I mean? We can have a different mentality about how we do things and still be as manly as the next dude. You know what I mean? Don't take shit away from me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm still who I am, but at the same time, I just want to live a little bit longer, a little bit healthier. And I tell people that is it, bro. When I tell you it is no agenda, I strictly want to just try to do it a little bit better. That's it, bro. You know what I mean?
What I've learned is you're not going to live forever.
Yeah.
But I want to feel better while I am alive.
The highest quality.
What I didn't know as a young kid, I believed that I needed meat. I was raised to believe that you needed it. In school, they tell you, you got to eat your meat.
Mm-hmm.
And in your family, you got to have it. And you think that if I don't eat meat, I'm not going to have enough of this. And what I didn't know until after I was vegan for a few months is that you don't need it.
Yeah, man.
And not only do you not need it, but how much better I felt.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's wild.
I mean, unbelievable. People that try it for a week are never going to know.
Yeah.
You know, people that try it for a month might not ever know. But you go a couple months and you don't need it anymore. And people are like, well, I like this and I crave this and I miss that and blah, blah, blah. Don't you miss this? Don't you miss this? Don't you miss those? And I'm like, your body craves what you give it.
Hey, it's simple, man. Your body, for me, my body craves good shit.
You can get addicted to anything.
Yeah.
You can get addicted to crack.
Yo.
You can get addicted to carrots.
Yes, you can.
And it is. It's
Real
true.
talk. Yeah,
and I tell
absolutely.
people, I was like, I'm an energy drinking
Yeah.
son of a bitch, man.
Yeah.
And when energy drinks first came out, you know, Red Bull.
That was your shit.
And I first time I ever had it, smelled it, don't smell so good.
Yeah.
Tasted it, it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
Dude, 3 weeks later, I was water at the mouth waiting to get one. Oh, it's so good. It ain't good.
Yeah.
It's just your body craves it because you've been giving it to you. Just like alcohol. Beer don't taste good the first time you ever had it.
Beer tastes horrible, man. But all of a sudden you find yourself getting a quart.
Acquire a taste.
You know what I mean?
You can acquire a taste for whatever you want. You can come addicted. You can crave. You can.
That's real talk, man.
You go without something long enough, you realize you don't need it.
Yeah.
And there's things that you used to do that you don't do anymore.
Yeah.
There's things you used to eat you don't eat anymore. There's things you used to be that you're not anymore. You know, and life changes. And if you're not willing to give something a shot, you're never gonna.
Would you say that's pretty easy for you, man? Would you say you're pretty good at? Because you seem like. Would you say you're pretty good at once you realize,
man,
it's just not good for me, I can turn it off?
I'm kind of I'm kind of a willpower kind of guy.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I believe in positive mental energy. I believe in positive mental attitude. I believe that you can manifest what you want.
Right.
I believe that if you make your mind up, you can try.
Mm-hmm.
But then you can do, you know, and you can try all kinds of things or you can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's that, when you're, there's like the old guys like, you can try to do, what it's like the little analogies, like try to pick up that pencil.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just do it. You know what I mean?
Simple.
But, I mean, I realize I'm a little bit crazy kind of person. I've got a lot of OCD. I got a lot of whatever. But when I say I'm going to do something, I just do it.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Some people know, you may not know, but in 1991, I just made a deal with myself that I was never going to wear shoes that were not red ever again.
No shit.
Here we are.
No shit. You made me look down at your joint. We got on the same kicks too while you bullshitting. Yo, in honor of my peeps, I had to pull them out.
I haven't worn shoes that aren't red 32 years.
No shit.
I'm just like, nah.
Yo, man.
So you say you're gonna do something, you just do it. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's stop for a second again. We got to revisit that. Just give me a minute. All right, man. For 32 years, bro. 32 years straight, and I believe you too. That's the thing. I know you're not. I mean, here's the thing. I believe everything you said. It's just wild because I do believe it, and I'm like, for 32 years, yo, man. That is over 30,000 days, bro.
I've got hundreds of pairs of red shoes.
32 years because 10 is, yo, man. Yeah, man, that's a lot of days, man. Yo,
I just wear red shoes.
Dude. Yo, that's wild, man. Yo.
I mean, I was in a wild point in my life, and I just
9,000. Yeah, there we go.
I had a bunch of, I would say through high school, and the few years after high school, when I was partying a little bit, I mostly wore red shoes, but I did have a few pairs that were not red.
Okay,
but we were at my house. A few people were partying, and somebody said something about you wearing red shoes. I'm, oh man, red shoes are the best. And then I'm like, and then we started going down a deal, and I just said, you know what? I'm going to wear red shoes the rest of my life. I'm never wearing shoes that aren't red ever again. And made this joke, and everybody's laughing or whatever. And I went upstairs. I had like 4 or 5 pair of shoes that were not red. I grabbed them, went out in the backyard, squirted them full of lighter fluid, and lit them on fire and burned them. and I've been wearing red shoes ever since.
Oh shit, dude! Hey, here's the thing.
We might have been tripping when that happened.
Yeah. There's no doubt you were tripping. Yo, man. Yo, check this shit out, dude. I'm thinking about every time I've seen you, you've had on fucking red shoes, and almost you've always had on the Van joints.
Every time everybody's seen me, I'm having wearing the red shoes.
It's crazy. Yo, you're right. It's fucking with me a little bit, man. I mean, yo, it's I mean, it's amazing, bro. I mean, yo, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing that's interesting, too. Some of your feats, man, are so freaking amazing. Well, first off, too, we were talking about beforehand. I'll bring this up now. So I know this is your first kind of full joint too. And I say this just to give my man props because, since me and Oliver met, he's always been a man of his word. You don't always get that with new people you fuck with, man. But always, I think you and I thought the vibe. You know what I mean? And Oliver's always been a man of his word to me. But dude, I was telling him a while back, you need a fucking podcast because your stories are second to none. Yo, y'all got something. I'll tell y'all got some stories coming. We're
going to have some stories every episode.
Y'all got some stories coming, I'm telling you. But I remember when I was telling you that, this was a while back when we first met. And I remember when you finally said you were going to get it together, you were like, yo, man, I'm going to have you over, man. I want you to be one of the first people on my joint. And so I say that to say, I appreciated it, obviously. And I was like, yeah, no biggie. But then whenever you got the joint going, I mean, you legitimately were like, yo, man, I want you to come through, man. Hey, I got a spot for you, dude. I want to make sure. And so I say all that to say, I appreciate that. And what I've tried to do too as I've gotten older is make sure that I tell people I appreciate what they do from the smallest to the biggest thing, man, because it's real shit. And I think the more we do that, going back to the whole positive way that we can infect people or affect people, I try to make sure I'm appreciative, and I tell people, but yo, you're a man of your word, man, and I don't want you to take that for granted. Yo, I appreciate that. I don't forget shit like that, man. So I appreciate you doing that. But beyond that, I'm loving the restaurant and all that shit too, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'll say, just me and you've known each other for a couple years, and we know people that've known each other for quite a while, and it didn't, you meet somebody new, and then you find out so and so, and then so and so, and then so and so.
Yo, it's wild how many people
world.
you knew.
Small
it
world.
is, but dude, the number of people you knew that I've known for 15, I was like,
how do we not meet?
No wonder exactly, and it made sense as to why. I was like, oh, that's my man. You know what I mean? But not to interrupt, but yeah, you're exactly right, man.
But one thing I want to touch on, man, is 2020 fucked up year in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
For me personally, I got hit with the cancel culture shit.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too deep into whatever, but I had a lot of friends that stood with me hard, fast.
Yeah.
And I had I don't think I lost any friends.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of people that were not friends.
Absolutely.
But me and you just barely knowing each other at that time.
Yeah.
You stood strong, man. And thing you said to me is you said, I don't know you that long, but I know people that know you, and I know you're good people, and I trust the people, something like.
Yeah, I remember what I told you, man.
And I'm just like, man, it means a lot, because I try to pump out positivity.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I have friends, 30-year friends, 20-year friends, most of my friends are long-term friends. And every friend I make is a future long-term friend. You know what I mean? And you have the same, and some of our long-term friends are common.
Absolutely.
And so by proxy, man, I know you're good people, and vice versa.
And I'll tell you, man, tap a little bit into 2020, how it was interesting. I'm gonna say this was interesting, because this was interesting, man. I never had a chance to talk to you about this either, man. This was interesting.
We saved it for today.
Yeah. So, as he said, my man's year started off unique, and mine by proxy started off unique. And I'll give you just a little bit, man, to kind of peel back the curtain a little bit. But dude, I remember waking up after. So take people back. I did a takeover for this one company. So like, hey, he wants you to take over our page, talk about different vegan spots. So I picked Tiki Loco. Tiki Loco is one of my favorites. I was like, the first video I'm gonna go to Tiki Loco. I'm gonna walk around and show love to my peeps. So I did a little video, put it on my page, put it on this other page.
And I answered, was like, hey, man, can I repost that?
Yeah. My man hit me up and was like, yo, can I repost? I was like, hell yeah, I already know who you are, man. And just so people know, man, I've been watching Ink Master for a minute, so I knew exactly who Oliver was. I was like, yo, shit, dude, you ain't said nothing. This is all love. So, he puts it on his page. And so, no biggie, I get a lot of love from that too. And so that was dope. I was like, I appreciate it. My man is doing big things. The fact that you included me on your page, I thought was love, and I appreciated it. So, anyways, I wake up 2 mornings later, man, and my message inbox was flooded. And dude, when I tell you I have more messages than I've ever had in my life. So there's a lot of people messaging me about different things.
I had a lot of messages that day.
Yeah, man, I know you did too. Yeah. My messages, I never had messages like that. Yo, so it was wild. So I'm going through and I'm like, oh shit. So then I'm starting to I'm laying there. I call a couple of people like, yo, you're not gonna believe what the fuck is happening right now. And they're like, oh,
hot.
Fuck.
Shit is hot.
It's hotter than it's ever been in my life. I'm like, oh man. So then I started reading through your comments, and I started putting two together. I was like, wait a minute. So people are associating us together, not knowing that we just barely have connected like that, but they're associating us. I was seeing everything from that was planted, that we had a PR firm that planted what I did for you.
Yeah.
Because we knew some shit was.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't tell you. Dude, I had...
Oh, people were like, oh, now you post him.
Yo, it
I'm
was
like,
wild.
Dude, we post, this is daily. Look at the timeline.
Yeah, it was wild. So I had to explain to some people that, you know, and I had a few different TV station type joints and websites that reached out, and I was like, and I told you before, going back to kind of the conversation we had, I said, hey man, like you said, I don't know you, but I know people, we know some of the same people, and I said, yo, I just want you to know, you know, you can trust me, man, and I get a good vibe from you, and I said, that's all that matters. And I also think I told you, I said, man, you know, we all grow in life and do things that, you know, I said, because I told people, because I had a lot of people who came at me too, man, who were like, there were a number of people that came from me, you know, from the Black community who were like, yo, so what the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? Like they were on some like, yo, what's up? And I was like, yo, that's my boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm riding with him, and you know, I said I can't tell you, you know, I know a lot about him, but
it would have been easier for you to just wash your hands of it.
Yeah, but I trust my gut, man, and my gut told me, you know, I fuck with you, man. And I don't know, man. I don't know. There was something that told me I felt like we were a lot alike in ways, because there are things that I've said and done too, man, that shit I regret, you know what I mean, that I've grown from. And not that I meant anything malicious by it necessarily, but it was just me doing things that, looking back at it, I probably could have moved a little bit differently, but we all grow, and we all grow into better things. So for me, I always try to judge myself first. And before I can go too hard on me, I try to show lenience to me, which means I have to show lenience to everyone else that I deal with. And I didn't even think about it twice, man. I was like, hey, man, just know. More than anything, I want you to know that, yo, I mean, we don't know each other like that yet, but when I'm your fucking motherfucker, man, like I'm not playing. You know what I mean? Like, and when I told you, yo, it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And the way I looked at it was, unless you're mentioning something, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way that I live my life, man. It's because, you know, friendships, for me, the most important thing that and that's, for me, the number one thing for me are friendships, because even when you have a relationship with someone, without a dope friendship, it ain't shit. So for me, friendships are everything, man, whether small or big. So that's why I wanted to make sure you knew that when I meant it, it was real. And you know, like I said, it made it, it was interesting, you know, just kind of like you said, dealing with that. But I think there were a lot of people who learned something from it, man. You know what I mean? Who looked at it and said, you know, I mean, you know, because I have opinions on a variety of different things, man, but I'm also diverse in who I have close to me and who I love. And we can have different political views, all types of things. If you're my brother, you're my brother. Man, I don't give a shit, man. Once we brothers, we brothers. And so that's what it is. And so I think people were able to look at that and say, you know, not knowing either one of us either, not knowing how similar we are in a lot of ways too, but, you know, a lot of people may look from the outside and say they look extremely fucking different. Yeah. So how the fuck can they be so cool? And it's like, well, you know, since I don't know very much about both of them, that says a lot about, I think, who they are, just by the way that they vibe like that. Now, once you get to know us, you know, a little bit more in depth, you realize, okay, well, the motherfuckers are a lot alike. So no wonder they fucking get along. It's way more. But you know, motherfuckers
no wonder we have so many similar friends.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, but motherfuckers from the outside who don't know, and they're just looking at the aesthetics of it all, would say that. But anyways, but I was hoping to, obviously, you know, we brothers anyways. But I was hoping that other people could look and say, you know what, man, you live and you learn. You know what I mean? And you try to show, you know, compassion to as many people as possible. And like I said, I didn't think fucking twice about it. When I said I didn't think twice about it, literally, it was, and like I told you, just know, you know, I'm here too. You know what I mean? If you need something, you know what I mean? It's solid. So I felt comfortable about that, because I knew, you know, just quick sidebar, because I knew you were going through it, because I was like, I know my man going through it, man. And I was like, I felt for you too, because I was like, ain't a whole lot that I can say, because some of that shit time got to do its thing. But I was like, no, I feel for my dude, man. That fucking sucks, man. You know what I mean? It just has sucked. It sucked for me to check that shit. So I'm not even equating that.
Well, I wouldn't have made it through that situation without people like you.
Yeah, well,
you know, without my friend base, and you know, anybody that knows me knows the truth.
Yeah.
And whatever you read on the internet, those people don't know me.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't know, you don't know. But there's the modern social media era is just point and shoot at everybody.
It's
you know,
wild.
and I just, you know, and I don't even want to go down the road of talking about the problems with social media.
Yeah.
But for my outlook, is it can be as positive as you want it to be.
Yo.
Like my Instagram, I'm an avid Instagrammer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
I just post good times, positive things, and only follow positive good time. You look at my feed and scroll, you're going to see tattoo, motorcycle, skateboard, tattoo, motorcycle, skateboard, tattoo, motor. You know, that's it.
Absolutely.
You know, anybody with some bullshit, delete.
Yeah. You can't fool with them, bro.
Delete.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a deleting son of a bitch.
Absolutely.
You make a negative comment of any kind.
Yeah.
Like just any negative.
You have
delete.
to.
I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a big, harsh cuss out session or if it's just one minor little negative.
Yeah.
Just delete the negative. Because it's there. I don't need it. I don't want to look at it. I don't even finish. If there's some comment that long and the first 3 words are negative, I don't finish reading it.
Yeah. There's no reason to.
Why are you going to read it? Just delete it.
Yeah.
Because if negative, you take negativity in, you have negativity. You take in life, you take in death, you take in whatever you want, like
Absolutely.
you said. People too much, and I say the reason I'm so much on the Instagram is because I can control how positive it is.
Yeah, well, you know what to do with it.
I can't handle it.
Facebook is crazy.
I can't handle it.
Yeah, I don't like Facebook.
Every time I open it, I'm like, ah!
Yeah, it's a little bit, it's a little bit much, but to your point, there's a couple of people who I follow who say the same thing all the time. Whenever people will talk negatively, about social media, it's more about what you do with it and what you choose to look at. If you choose to be positive with it and look at positive things, it's not a bad thing. It's actually great for you. It's reinforcing the way that you know you do and you want to live. But if you want to look at the bullshit, guess what?
I just think it's funny that people they go out of their way to find things they're mad about and then and then log on to my page and bitch about something down there. And I'm just like, all you had to do was not look at it.
That's a lot of energy, man. That's a lot of energy, man.
All you had to do was
unnecessary.
All you had to do was choose to be happy, but you're choosing negativity.
Let me ask you this. So when would you say you made that mental change to where you said, I'm going to choose positivity? When would you say you consciously started doing that?
To be honest, it was probably 1985.
Okay.
I was in high school.
Okay.
And I was a punk rock skateboarder, smallest kid in town, you know, been bullied and picked on my whole life, you know, and whatever, man. I just I lived in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
Went to Southwest High School.
Okay.
One of the largest high schools in Fort Worth. So it's a big, diverse group. And there was like 7 or 8 skateboarder kids.
Okay.
And everyone hated us.
Yeah.
The football players hated us. The baseball players hated us. The golf team. We had a rodeo team.
Yeah.
Rodeo team. You know, and it was just like, whatever. And then had a bunch of friends that weren't outside of my high school, you know, that were either older or younger.
Okay.
Because the thing about the skate park, or the skate ramp, or the back pool session or whatever, you know, you're not there with your direct peers. It's not like I'm 13, so I got a 13-year-old best friend.
It's whoever else does it.
At the ramp, there's fucking 10-year-olds and 40-year-olds.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know? And so I used to get made fun of in high school because I would get out of high school, get in the car, go to the middle school, pick up 2 or 3 kids from middle school, and then go to the skate park because they didn't have a car.
Gotcha.
You know, you're hanging out with some little kid, 6th grader, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Skating,
but anyway, you know, I just found positivity through music and skateboarding.
Okay.
And the group of friends I had some were old, some were young, some were whatever. And there's a band called Bad Brains.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all about the PMA.
Okay.
You know, and that's what that's the first time I ever heard
of
PMA and Positive Mental Attitude.
Yeah.
And the guy, the lead singer, of that band. It's got him HR. You know anything about this band?
No.
Man,
You're schooling me now.
You got to check them out.
Yeah. No,
but I mean, it's
yeah.
fucking punk rock, but it's like 3 gnarly ass fucking dreadlock black dude reggae, but they just play the fucking hardest fucking punk shit, and it's just fucking. You listen back then. HR was kind of like a weird punk rock Buddhist, you know, but he would, you know, on stage, he's doing backflips and screaming bloody murder, but then he'd talk and he's like real peaceful and he just like, and it was all about the choice to be positive, you know, and I just, bunch of people in that social group, like embrace this idea of PMA.
Okay.
You know, and I just.
And that's when that's what's up, man.
And so
yeah.
I would walk in, you know, I would be in whatever situation I was in, and you can follow the negative shit happens.
Right.
And you can give it attention or not.
Yeah.
I just don't give it any attention. Whatever's there, find something positive and be happy. I'm the guy smiling and high-fiving everybody, you know, whatever.
That's what's up, man. Yeah.
And there's a lot of, and you know, it's just a lot of, I feel fortunate to have learned that lesson really young.
Yeah, you learned it young. You know? I was about to say, it took me a minute before I really did it daily and said, you need to try to do it you just really, it'll change your life.
I mean, I'm just a happy son of a bitch, man. Yeah. I mean, and I think that good things happen because good things happen, because good things happen,
Absolutely.
Because good things happen.
And
you know,
keeps going.
And that first thing that happened might have just been a smile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Might have just been a kind word, might have just been whatever.
That's
you
simple.
Know? But, you know, you ever see that movie Falling Down?
I think I have seen that shit for some
Michael
reason.
Douglas, and he's going to work, and some bad shit happens, and then he gets in a bad mood, and bad shit happens, By the end of the day, it's like the worst thing that ever happened in the world. And that's the point. I remember that movie, and I'm just like, you can get mad and tell somebody to fuck off, you know, and then you're negative. Yep. And so whatever happens,
you're
gonna
it's that negative energy you're putting out that's gonna attract that same thing. No, absolutely. Yeah.
You could just say, "Hey, man, have a great day."
Right.
And I'm telling you, every day I say, "Man, it's a beautiful day today," and people be like, "It's like cloudy and 28 degrees." I'm like, "It's gonna be great." You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be great.
No, you're right, man. It's funny. This dude the other day, this old cat. He was wanting to turn down this little spot at the grocery store. He wanted me to move, and he's looking at me like I'm crazy, and he flipped me off, and he's like, "Move your fucking truck." Here's the thing. It's funny you say that because I was like, fuck you. I wanted to turn around and follow his after that. I said, no. I said, because nothing good can happen from that. So just chill, and everything is okay. I had to talk to myself for a minute. Yeah, it fucked with me a little bit, but you got to do that, man. Otherwise, that negative shit, it should have fucking follow you, man. It should have fucking, it'll fucking follow you. And I got to ask you too, man. So with your tattoos, when did you get your first tat, man? How old were you?
I was like 16, 17.
Okay. Was one of those fucking garage joints you did your own self?
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Literally a sewing needle.
Oh, fuck.
A broken open big pen, dip in the ink, and just stab myself in the ankle for about 4 hours.
No shit.
You know, and I came home and I showed my mom, look what I got! And she's like, what? She goes, that ain't gonna stay. I'm like, it's gonna stay. You know, it's still all bloody and it's still whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's in there. It's real. I did it with a needle, you know? And she's just like, my mom thinks I'm crazy. I'm like, I'm gonna cover my whole body with tattoos. You know, and my mom knowing me, being a little crybaby, but I mean, like, I'm the kid like with the skin elbow.
Okay.
I'm
so
like,
she didn't think you were gonna be able to handle that shit.
She's like, doesn't it hurt? I'm like, it hurt. She's like, well, you can't handle it. And I was just like, I'm gonna cover my whole body with tattoos, you know. And then like, you know, I did a couple more I made a little homemade machine. I tattooed a couple of tattoos on me, and then I get a real machine. I start tattooing myself. Start getting tattooed from other people, and then I remember coming home with my first big tattoo, like larger tattoo, you know.
Yeah.
and just outlined and all big. And I'm like, I show my mom, and my mom's just like, she's like, you really are going to cover your whole body with tattoos.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like, I told you. I mean, if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Nah, hell yeah. So how long did it take you before, I mean, you pretty much are covered. You don't have anything else, do you?
I'm choking on this coffee bean.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I thought so.
The only empty skin I have left is skin that I'm not tattooing.
Yeah, simple.
I mean, I had a plan from the beginning.
Gotcha.
Like it stops on a clean line of my ankles.
Okay.
And I never want to get my feet tattooed because there's no end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you going to get your toes tattooed?
Yeah,
you're going to get your heel tattooed? So it's got a clean end on the bottom, and I'm not a barefoot person, to tell you the truth.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you're always wearing your red shoes. Yeah.
Being a skateboarder ain't nothing. No need for being barefoot.
Yeah, true that.
I'm not a surfer. I'm not a beach bum. I don't walk around the neighborhood in flip flops. I'm not into that.
Yeah.
So no reason to get my feet tatted. My throat tattoo, I didn't want to get my throat.
Okay.
I got both sides of my neck.
Right.
And if you get your throat too, then you got like this turtleneck.
Yeah.
Then you look like, and I don't want to get my face tattooed.
Right.
I always make this joke that face tattoos are for ugly people.
Yeah, man. But I don't know about a face tat. That's a lot.
You know, the problem with the face tat is it's everybody that looks at you.
Yeah.
You're going to look at that tattoo.
Yeah.
So kind of, I got a lot of friends with a lot of face tattoos. I got some friends that are totally covered, and it's whatever.
Yeah.
But to each his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get my head tattooed because I don't want to shave my head.
Yeah.
But I was on a mission to get my bodysuit done, and I got tattooed every month for like 12 years.
Fuck. 12 years? 12 years straight, and your shit was totally covered. Dude, that's fucking, that's dedication, man.
It takes a long time to get fully covered. You get all the big spots done, and you're like,
what was the worst spot for you pain-wise?
Palms of the hands, armpits, backs and knees.
Your fucking hands, the inside of your hands. How was that shit, dude?
Bad idea.
Oh, no shit. Dude, I don't know how the fuck you did. Every time I see that, I'm like, some of the realest shit I've been seeing is
armpits are pretty bad. Backs and knees are pretty bad. Ribs are bad. All this stuff, but
ribs,
But I tell people, if you got to hold your balls out of the way, it's going to hurt real bad. So all up in the inner high on the inner thigh, anywhere you're ticklish.
Yeah.
Those nerves are close.
Nerves are heavy. Yeah.
Close to the skin, and they're thin skin. That's why, the outside of your leg bumps into something every day. That's all,
Right.
Tough.
Yeah, it's tough. That inside,
high on the inside of the thigh.
What you say, if you got to move your balls out the way, it's going
to hurt bad, dude.
Yeah, man.
I mean, up in there, and people are like, why do you get that tattooed? And I was like, well,
it's a full body tattoo.
You got to get it done, man.
You got to get the whole shit done, man.
I mean, I don't got it on my balls. I don't have like nothing on my butthole or nothing like that. But
it's
but if I'm standing there, I'm fully tattooed. So you got to.
No doubt.
And man, it just feel like you dropped a soldering iron in your pants. It's just like sharp.
Yeah, man, that's some shit. So when
I don't recommend it unless you've got this same kind of like OCD, like I got to cover every inch.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to cover every inch, but now that, like I said, I've gotten out the matrix and shit, yeah, I'm definitely going to cover up a lot of shit.
Yeah.
A lot of shit that I was hesitant on before because I'm not going back to a traditional 9-to-5 situation. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go ahead and do all the shit that I've wanted to do. Yeah. That's for sure, man.
Well, man, you got a good back to the deal, man. You got a good thing going. Who knows what the future holds?
Yeah.
Who knows how long each ride lasts, but you got to make the most of it. And you got a killer ride going right now. You got the community vegan food truck, which is, I mean, I envision already down the road, like the new things you're going to come up with.
Appreciate
because you already kind of got some shit going on that's kind of topped what other people had going.
Thank you, man.
And even the simple shit, the goddamn biscuit, man. It's people think about things that are hard to do, things that are hard to make vegan or whatever. But I mean, I feel like the biscuit was a perfect touch.
No, appreciate that, man. Yeah, Erica actually makes the biscuit, but all the stuff.
Y'all are a killer team, man.
No, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, we with everything that we do, off in the food truck, with our daughter Sky too, and everybody that contributes from our corporate partners, man. What we try to do is do it from scratch, but do it with love too, man.
Well, I gotta say this, man, to all the people that out there, like places like Chili's ain't what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But if somebody has a small business, whether it's food or whatever, that they're doing that business out of love. Nobody, like food trucks, small family-owned restaurants, whether it's, I go to this Thai food restaurant here in town called Bangkok Inn, man. It's my favorite Thai food. Been going there for 30 plus.
Okay.
The owner just passed away, but her daughters are running it, and she hasn't been active in many years.
Gotcha.
But when I first started going there, the girl that runs the place now was in a playpen.
Wow.
And in the front of the restaurant, there's a playpen with a baby in it.
Yeah, she's a vet.
She's 30 now, running the restaurant.
That's what's up.
And it's that place. They're never gonna be a chain.
Right.
They're never gonna sell to, whatever. They're never gonna be millionaires. They're doing what they love.
Yeah.
And I know you're doing what you do because you love it. I know Audra's doing Tiki Loco because she loves it.
Absolutely.
And
you can see it. Yeah.
It's not a.
You gotta love it to do some of that stuff too.
You gotta appreciate.
Yeah.
People gotta appreciate what they're getting when they go to a place like that. Because when you go to a place like Chili's, you're not getting that.
Right.
You're getting people that hate their fucking job. You're getting some corporate person buying the lowest grade, cheapest crap they can put on the grill, and they're giving it to you for $9.99, and you're eating garbage.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
I'll talk shit on places like that without any bad conscience.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because those people are not doing what they do out of any care or love or compassion for anyone in the world.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So if you can, the last couple of years, it's been a big push, like shop local, go small, small business Saturday and all this stuff like that. And it's like, when you support something, it's done for the right reasons. It's good for everybody.
Absolutely it is, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely it is. I love that.
I really love the stuff that's going on with the food trucks nowadays.
Absolutely.
Because they're not, food trucks gather together and put in these areas and they're working together. It's
absolutely,
you're not fighting.
Everybody wins.
You're not trying to outbeat that guy because you know what I mean. That guy's somebody's going to eat at that food truck one day and eat at your food truck the next day. You know what I mean?
Family affair.
It's the same with the Deep Ellum thing for me, man. I'm friends with a lot of business owners in Deep Ellum.
Yeah,
and a lot of us, support each other's business and promote people to go to the other restaurants.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I eat at the other restaurants, and the other restaurants come eat at whatever. And it's just I love the name Community Vegan.
Appreciate that. That's what it's about.
Because
man.
It is a community.
That's what it's. That's what it's. I mean, and that was part of the concept. Because whenever I first thought about the name Community Vegan, all I could see were a diverse group of people getting together to eat, man. And one concept that I have, and now that we're in kind of a COVID world, I think it may be a little bit difficult, but I still want to accomplish this because obviously I got plans to grow and do different things. But I wanted to have another spot that was more of a brick and mortar named Community Vegan, where all I have are 3 or 4 long tables with chairs that force you to eat with other people.
Well, it's kind of what you have now. The bench is out front. Everybody's in the same little area.
And that's the concept, man. But I wanted to have long tables with people who are forced to eat together because we are a family. You know what I mean? I don't want people to feel the separation that I think a lot of the times we see just second nature wise. And then also I think what the media can do as far as trying to separate us and put us in different groups. But for me, it's big for people to know that, we're all one group. And sometimes we need to open up and have a conversation with someone who may not look like us, talk like us, act like us, because there are things on both sides that I think could be beneficial, And so with the whole concept of community vegan, it was about bringing everyone in together to say that, yo, we're here for everybody. And even though we've got vegan on the name, we're about the community. What's dope is probably half of our business comes from non-vegans, man, which I wouldn't have anticipated. I knew vegans would show love, but a lot of non-vegans show love. And they say they come by for a few different reasons. One, because they'll look at the food pics and all that and be like, yo, the food looks dope, so I just want to fool with it. Appreciate it, man. They want to fool with it just because it tastes good. But then also what we did from a aesthetic standpoint, with, like you said, putting the bar top outside. Also, we had my boy Drew from Color Cartel. He did the paint job. We had a graffiti artist do that. And then we play music and whatnot. It looks cool, man. Yeah, man, it's the Austin vibe, man. And we try to make it to where even if you across the street, you're going to look over and be like, yo, what the hell they got going on over there? Oh, they serve food too. And so we're trying to create a vibe so that whenever you come through, like you said, with the positive.
You had the funk playing when I walked up?
Yeah, man, yeah. We had a little Parliament playing. I knew you were close. I said, I'm going to put a little something on, you know what I mean? So he feels the vibe.
I love my boy George.
Yeah. So we had a little Parliament, little George Clinton. We mixed in some Isaac Hayes and shit, but we try to give a positive vibe. That way, people will come, and I look at eating kind of like when a lot of us were young. That was the time you spent with family. You get to know more about what happened during the day with people. You'd have more intimate conversations, and it would be an experience that you enjoyed and you look forward to. We're trying to create that same thing. So when you come over there with your people, not only are you going to get some food that you enjoy, but also the experience of hanging out, being there on the corner, feeling the Austin vibe, especially East Austin. It's about giving people that opportunity. And that's what life's supposed to be about. Eating is one of the more enjoyable things that we do. So for me, it's like, let me try to make it as best an experience as possible. So that's what we do, man. We just try to make sure that people can taste the love in the food. And when they do that, again, people will be thankful, but I'm like, nah, man, thank you for allowing me to serve. You know what I mean? Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve you this food that, I hope you dig, and hopefully you'll come back and share the love with some of your friends. You know what I'm saying? So, but, that's kind of the concept with community, man. But it's always about community, man. It's always about bringing people together, again, for good, for positive experiences, versus bringing people together so that we can separate and, quote unquote, divide and conquer. That's bullshit, man. Yeah, we need to bring more people together. So good food is an easy way to do that shit, man. You got a table full of good food. People come from all over like, yo, let's see what's popping. So we get all types of people, man. It's just dope, man.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that Audra's restaurant has become, Tiki Loco, it's become one of the places where vegan people bring their non-vegan friends.
Absolutely.
To come in. And a lot of times they don't tell their non-vegan friends that it's vegan, but because some people have this stigma and they're like, oh, it's vegan, I ain't gonna try it.
Absolutely.
I won't even try it. I don't even want to try it. So, but some people, will. Whatever. But they bring their friends in, like, you got to try this. And they eat it and the people are like, oh man, it's, and it's just that little bit of eye opener, you don't always have to eat whatever, but I know people are doing the same thing at your place.
Yeah, man, they do that.
Somebody goes and eats there, and then they bring their non-vegan friend over, like, you got to try this.
I tell you what was funny, man. We had this one young lady, a little bit older, but she's from East Austin. She came through, and she ordered some of the lemon pepper wings. So we take the fresh oyster mushrooms, fry them up like chicken, give them a lemon pepper type of flavor into it. So she got that with some waffle fries. So she went, sat down, and ate them. And so then she came back, and I believe she ordered some more. So after she ordered some more, she said, yo, I had to get something to take home. She said, because these remind me of gizzards, fried chicken gizzards. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, I ain't never thought about it like that. But I was like, you know what? If it reminded you of something that you grew up loving, and this can supplement it because you're getting the mushrooms a little bit healthier for you too, by all means, enjoy them quote-unquote vegan gizzards. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that shit. So it's funny, man, how
I can totally see the end where it's a little inwards.
Little
You just get a little bit of mushroom on the edge with with crust. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it was for. But I was like, whatever it takes for you to enjoy your meal and have an option that may be just a little bit healthier for you. That's what we try. Like I tell people, we're trying to make eating veggies fun again. This is no punishment.
Yeah.
There's none of that bullshit that some people look at, oh, you're vegan, so life must be hard. Man, you must be out your mind. I'm like, look at me. Do you think I'm not going to eat good? I'm like, look in my eyes. And you tell me, do you think a motherfucker like me is not going to eat good? You're crazy. I'm always going to eat good. I'm going to eat better than most people. And a majority of what I'm eating is going to be plant-based. I'll get some of the other processed vegan foods in, but I'm like, vegetables are dope. You know what I mean? You can do a lot of dope shit with veggies. You know what I'm saying? So it's about getting people to open up their mind. I don't even ask people to, like I said, do the whole, oh, you need to be vegan. No, hey, check this out, man. If you can just add a couple of, healthier meals to your diet, it's going to help your life, man. And so for me, that's dope, man. So if I can contribute to it, high five, that's what's up.
Well, we're kind of having society, and especially in major metropolitan areas right now, is having a kind of a vegan explosion.
Absolutely.
Like every city's got new restaurants popping up. And I think that the big positive change that I'm seeing in the last decade is 10 years ago, all my vegan friends were very, I don't want to use the word exclusive, but they weren't necessarily inclusive.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It was a different world. Yeah.
It was, there's all these stereotypical jokes about, how you know somebody's vegan, they'll tell you in a minute, or whatever, and it's just like, all this stuff. And it's like, man, and it doesn't have, like a lot of people, when restaurants started having a vegan option, a lot of the vegan people would be like, fuck that place. I'm not going there. They're not 100% vegan.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm like, hey,
that's crazy.
You got to look at the big picture, man.
Absolutely.
No change happens overnight. So if I don't want to go to Burger King, but I'm pretty happy that they have a vegan option.
They have an option. They have an option for people who typically wouldn't even consider it. But now that it's at a spot that's a favorite of theirs, they're like, you know what? Maybe this is something I should look into.
It's that first mental step.
Yeah.
That's opening the door that we're gonna
absolutely
and you gotta have the idea that whether it's recycling or food or processing, any change is better.
Absolutely. And
any
it's
amount.
Baby steps. Absolutely. It's baby steps, but also the information's got to get out there. And and you got to meet people where they're at. See, that's the thing too. See, some vegans, they want people to meet them halfway or come all the way over here. It's like, nah, if you're trying to get people to look at what you're talking about, you got to meet them where they're at. So that's part of the reason, some people have said, well, you guys, you fry a lot of stuff and whatnot. And we do have a lot of fried stuff. It's comfort food, straight up. But I'm meeting people where they're at. There are a lot of non-vegans who are like, yo, I would never consider eating a cauliflower steak. I would never eat a damn mushroom.
I cannot wait.
You know what I mean?
To eat that.
That cauliflower joint. I'm doing a special one for my man here. The beer battered cauliflower is crazy.
So I gotta give a little quick blurb out. My buddy Rhino.
Yes, my man.
So we got a buddy, Rhino, and his buddy Craig, and they got a company called Bucket Pig Barbecue.
Yeah, shout out to Craig.
And they've got High Seas that they do make jerky, but they also make a lot of other products, man. And Rhino's kind of made a big jump, and he started making a bunch of sauces.
Yeah, man.
And the one thing he's done is all his sauces are vegan.
Yeah, man.
Which it's easy to change over.
Yeah.
But anyway, my boy Rhino, he came up with this thing with the help of you.
Yeah.
Your money mustard.
Money mustard. Yo,
So
when I tell you.
it's like honey mustard, but I'll tell you right now, it's better
different
than honey mustard because it's better mustard to start.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's so good.
It's the best freaking mustard in the game. And that's what we use on the sandwich. Oliver knows how good that mustard is.
So
we use that mustard on the freaking sandwich with some cheese and that shit's crazy, man.
But Rhino's he's a chefty motherfucker, man.
Yeah, Rhino is insane in the
his
kitchen.
barbecue sauce.
It's crazy. I've had his barbecue sauce before.
All the sauce he makes, habanero sauce, all the stuff. But,
man, the pickles they bake over there too, all that shit is freaking. Yeah, man.
I gotta come back to Austin.
I got you.
I gotta get collie chicken with the honey mustard, with the money mustard.
With the money mustard.
Okay, I'll be down there. I'll be down there pretty soon.
You got to come through, man. We're gonna take good care of you. We got that. A couple other things I'm gonna have you try too, because I got to put you on everything, brother. You gotta be one of the ones who can say.
Last time we were too full to get a shake. I gotta get a shake.
I know. I'm gonna have to do things maybe in halves. That way, I need you to try most of the stuff. That way, you can say you're a menu aficionado. Then I need you to go through everything on the menu. We got a few things. I need you to say you're an official menu aficionado, brother. We got to get you through it all.
Well, since I went to your place last, we went to dinner shortly after that with some buddies, and we went to a mostly sushi place.
Okay.
The place got a bunch of killer vegan options.
Okay.
And my buddy Jacob from the tat shop, he was like, "Oh man, now that you eat mushrooms," and I'm like, "Hold on a minute, man, hold on a minute." But he's like, "Now that you eat mushrooms, you got to eat this thing." And so I ate some mushroom things at this other restaurant, and I ate it. It was pretty good. It wasn't as good as your shit.
But you liked it.
But yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of the mushroom thing. Maybe there's definitely a little bit of mental block in there,
right?
But there's a lot of things you like now that you didn't like before. You cycle through whatever.
Yeah, you grow into you definitely
right now. One of my favorite things is broccoli.
Me raw. Too, man.
I just eat it.
That's good. You grow into.
However, but I used to hate it. Used to taste terrible.
Most veggies were like that for me too, man. And I was gonna say. Cut right. Hey, can I take a piss right quick?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I was gonna say I've been drinking so much fucking coffee.
We'll wrap it up here pretty shortly. Yeah, man. So like I was saying, man, if anything that you're open to, you're gonna have a lot more success with an open mind.
No
than
doubt.
You will. If you don't think something's gonna work, it's
probably
not gonna work.
No, and I'll tell you what's interesting is I knew my approach to this food thing had to be as open and as positive and as assured as possible. Otherwise, it wasn't going to work, man. I knew there couldn't be any doubt at any point that not only was it going to happen, but it was going to happen successfully. And you know what I'm talking about, man, but I'm going to say it again because there's a level of it where you feel it different. Like you feel it different. Where there's no out. And that's the thing. When there's no out, and some people feel uncomfortable when they get cornered like that. I look at it a little bit different. I looked at it like you're cornered now. Once I got rid of the corporate job, I was like, there's no out. You have to do
Charge.
So there was never a moment, I don't care how tired I was, I don't care how mentally effed I was, it was like, you're going to do it. There's no, if you do it, no, you're going to do it. And so that's the mentality that you have to have, you know what I mean? And you have to, like you said earlier, we were talking about the day after day, each step has to be a step closer. Yo, man, there were times where it's like, man, am I in the mud just stepping in the same spot? But I knew I wasn't because I knew a day had gone by where I got just a little bit more done. And then it went from getting it ready to getting experienced and cooking in a commercial chicken. I had never cooked in a freaking commercial chicken since I worked at freaking Popeyes and Pizza Hut and shit, man. So I had to say, okay, I got to get used to doing that. So I had to go through. But back to what we were talking about earlier, I said, just keep taking steps forward. Just keep taking. And the thing is, I knew too, and you talked about this as far as people who have food trucks and small businesses, they're doing it for the love. I knew that while I was doing it, there may be some things I have to overcome or some mishaps, but people would know where I'm coming from with it. They know I'm not coming through there on some bullshit. They know I'm coming through trying to make some good things happen, and they know I mean well. They absolutely know I mean well. So I knew with my heart being in the right place, people would get that and it would come across in your work, and you're going to do exactly what you need to do because the perspective that you have on this. If you got this negative perspective like, oh shit, woe is me and all that, it makes that shit negative, bro. I mean, yo,
Dude.
man, it's crazy. I'm trying to imagine having that negative vibe with everything that we've had to deal with thus far. Dude, there's no way I could do. That's why so many small businesses fail within the first 12 months of opening. It's because, not because you didn't have a good business or a good service or a good product. Mentally, where were you at? In addition to the preparation side, but prep side alone, mentally, where were you at when things got difficult? Did you say, oh shit, woe is me? You know what? This probably ain't gonna work. All the people who said it's too difficult, they were probably right. Did you go that route? Or did you say, oh, it's just another bump in the road. It's a learning experience for me. I'll never make that mistake again as I continue
Learn
to
what
move
not to
forward.
do.
Absolutely. As you continue to move forward. And that's what I keep saying. I'm always like, I continue to move. And one thing that I do too, man, and this is just kind of a sidebar, a little mental thing that I do that I think helps my approach to all of it. Every night before I go to bed, what I'll do is I'll go through kind of a meditation thing where my focus is on gratitude. And that's all I do is think about everything that I'm thankful for. And I try to spend some time focusing on that and really thinking about gratitude and making sure that, that whether I say it in my head or I say it, audibly, I'm thankful for the opportunity I had today. I'm thankful for the people I met. I'm thankful for the experience. I try to make sure that I incorporate a grateful mindset into how I finish up my day, because I try to wake up on the right side of the bed. I know you wake up feeling like, yo, we about to kick ass today. What the fuck?
Gotta go.
So for me, this helps. Number one, to just, show appreciation. But number two, like I said, to wake up the way you're supposed to. You know what I mean? To approach it like you got some shit to accomplish versus, oh, fuck, what am I going to deal with? You know what I mean? There's a different approach, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
I mean, the way I operate, man, is I'm like, this shit's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to do this.
Hell yeah.
It's going to do this. And we put on events. We put on TAD events. We put on motorcycle events. We put on, we do all these things. And there's always a moment where there's somebody in the team that's like wondering if it's going to make it.
Right.
And I'm like, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be, we're going to do it. We're going to blah, 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 blah. And, me and Audra have been together for 13 years and things are going, and over the years, there's like times where after so many times of things happening, I'm like, babe, I told you it's going to be great.
Yep.
When are you going to, and now she's on board with we can do it.
Absolutely.
But you get into a situation where things are going to get tough or things are going to get sticky or things are down to the wire or you only got so many more weeks to get ready for something. I'm like, it's going to be great. It's going to do this. Yeah. It's all going to come together. We're going to make it happen. We got to do what we got to do. And, a lot, when you do events and when you things, when you got business, there's always things that pop up.
There's a hiccup.
There's always things that pop up in the fourth quarter. And I'm just game time all the time. I'm just like,
that focus, man.
Let's go. But, and part of it is my whole, whatever I got wrong with me, I just use it for good.
That's what's crazy though, man, is I thought about this the other day, and I've heard this said about a number of people, especially athletes and successful people, is the same thing that has caused issues for them in their life is sometimes the exact same thing that's caused them success and happiness. And that's the part where it's interesting, because I know that with me, with certain things where, like for me, being driven about certain things is great because you're going to get it done. You're driven, but also sometimes when you're driven, you can run through not only a brick wall, but a whole lot of people in the meantime too as you get there. So you have to balance out the whole being driven, but not being in the correct lane. You know what I mean? Like I said, some of the things that are great about you are some of the things that in the past were problematic. You know what I mean? That you learned from, you know, and so I've gotten better at that aspect of making sure that, you know, make sure you run through the right brick walls. You don't have to run through anyone in the meantime. You know, everyone is safe too, you know, so, but, you know, that's a part of the growth process, man, when it comes to compassion too. You know what I mean? You got to think about your fellow individual and make sure you're doing the right thing for everyone involved. You know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, like I said, that's a whole nother thing that I think just the compassion part, making the vegan transition, you know, kind of help identify for me. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Man, it's mesmerizing. Just listen to you talk. Your positivity just exudes. You know, you've got a charisma, you've got an attraction, you've got this vibe. You know, you call it the vibe, and it's just there, man. And it's something that you know, that we just connected on instantly, man. And I appreciate you for, you know, the things you've been through and your outlook on, you know, going forward. And I'm just stoked to have you as a bro, man.
My man, no, we fam, man. Like I said, once we first connected, it was shit. It was a wrap, man. It was meant to be, though. You know, I mean, we were gonna connect at some point. That's the wild shit. Is, you know, it's like, you know, I don't know, certain people I link up with where it's like, God, we were bound to link up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? And shit. I'm glad you got this fucking podcast because like I said,
we're just gonna like push it off the ledge and see how far it goes down the hill. You know, start the snowball rolling and
some of the dopest shit.
See what happens.
For anyone who doesn't know, my man, y'all in for a treat.
Yeah, gonna have our boy Dave Cruzman on here too. So
my man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man. No doubt. But thank you for having me, brother.
Hey, man.
Yeah, love you like a brother, man.
Much
thank
love.
you. Absolutely.
Well,
let me not beat up the mic. Yeah. Much love, brother, man.
And we'll put all your info, where to find you, what to do, and where to see you, and how to get some of this.
No doubt. If you ever in Austin, Texas, we're on the east side off of 11th Street. You gotta come see it.
What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Label Solutions, www.labelsolutionsinc.com. I've been a customer of theirs for over a decade. They make the highest quality premium labels for all kinds of products. Food and beverage, personal care products, pet care products, beer and wine spirits, CBD products, automotive products, and more. They can make a label for almost anything. Multicolor, custom die cut, full wraparound labels, too many options to even tell you about. I use Label Solutions for all the stickers and labels for my stuff, like the Tiki Loco label on the coffee I'm drinking right now. They do have a minimum order of 1,000 labels, so they won't make you 20 labels for that soap you're making in your bathtub. But if you've got products to label, you need Label Solutions. Get started today at www.labelsolutionsinc.com.